Hi, welcome to Avocations and Amusements. I'm Melissa. Before we go ahead with the video, I just wanted to come here and say I filmed this quite a while ago, and so some things have changed. I began filming this in the first week of September during the writers and actors strikes. The Writers Guild of America ended their strike in late September, so a few weeks after I filmed this one, and the Screen Actors Guild and the American Federation of Television and Radio Artists ended their strike early November. So I just wanted to mention that because I refer to it in the video. So the inspiration for this dress is from the show Wheel of Time. If you're not familiar with it, it was first a series of books written by Robert Jordan and co-author Brandon Sanderson, who helped write the last 3 books in the series. It's now a television show. They've created two seasons, and the showrunner and executive producer is Rafe Judkins. So I'll talk more about the dress and go into further detail about the styling details and things like that in my next video, but I wanted to explain that in the Wheel of Time, the Aes Sedai, they have group or guild colours called the Ages. So they have 7 Ages: blue, green, yellow, red, white, grey and brown. The dress that I'm referencing is a dress worn by the character Alana of the Green Aja in Season 1, Episode 6. So moving forward, that's what I'll be talking about, or kind of what I'm interested in making, now that I can really give some details about the show and the dress. Welcome to my channel, Avocations and Amusements. I'm Melissa. It's been a while since I talked about making Regency clothes that I'd been planning on wearing to a Regency event in Hobart. I have been busy doing other stuff, and I'm not going to get around to having anything done to be able to go to the event. I've been to Hobart this month. I've been to Hobart in August. I've got to go again in October. So I'm not really wanting to do it again. Oh my God. Not really wanting to go again so soon. It's a lot of petrol money to drive down there and back, and then accommodation. But I might as well continue making a Regency dress because that's what I've started. There's a particular show that I've been watching, and there's a show that I've been watching, but because of the strikes, we don't want to be talking about it. So instead, I decided to pivot and make a... So distracting. Here's Peanut. He's my youngest cat. What I was going to say is I've decided to use my Regency dress as a way to make a generic Sorcerer Guild coloured dress. Not to mention any particular shows or characters. But that's something that I was looking at doing, and there's a particular colour green that I would like. Oh, this is uncomfortable. Can you hop down, mate? So I'll show you where I'm up to. The last time we spoke, I was cutting out a pattern from Laughing Moon. So I'll spin you around in just a second and I'll show you where I'm at. Sorry about the lighting. So this is the pattern all cut out. I've had some heavy books on it to flatten it out, except this has been pushed up. My daughter's been using this room a lot. So I do have one piece that wasn't cut out, and that's because it's just a huge rectangle skirt piece, and it's pretty much the size of the, I'm trying to remember how big the paper is, A3? No, A5. I can't remember anymore. It's pretty much the same size as the giant piece of paper, so there's no point cutting it out. But what I shall do today is I'm going to cut out some twill fabric to do the mock-up, or twill. But the fabric that I'm going to use, I haven't washed, so I'm just going to give it a bit of an iron. It's probably all wrinkly where I've put it anyway. And then I will cut them out, and I'll show you once I've done those for just the bodice. Found it! It's under a pile of to-do things. I've got shorts to iron, and my daughter's got some trousers I need to hem, but I found it, so I can cross that one off my list. Now I can iron it. Alrighty, that's all ironed. I've just gently rolled it up, so I can cross that one off. Now before I cut out the bodice, I'm just having a look at the pieces to see exactly what's what. So I've got what I think will be all the bodice parts, but I'm going to refer back to the pattern and instructions. Once again, the pattern is Laughing Moon Mercantile 126 ladies round or train gown, so you can have a train on that one. There, and it's got the bib front where it attaches near the shoulders. Okay, so I've worked out what pieces I'll need here. As per the Laughing Moon pattern, I'll need to cut a lining, cut that on the fold, so that's the full back. Then here I've got arm side. This goes around to the side back, and this is the closure. That's actually the front, so there's no separate front piece. Then we've got the straps. So I actually only need to cut out one on the fold, two, and another one. We'll cut two. So that's all I need to do at the moment. That's all done. Just in time to go get my daughter from school. It's another thing we can cross off. If I can grab it. There. The next thing I can do is I can put it together and check to see how close the bodice is to the one I draped and see what we need to change. I'm sorry for the audio. Hopefully I can fix this in editing, but I've made my bodice for the Laughing Moon pattern. The back fits okay. Looks really good. But as soon as I'm at the front, is I need definitely more here. Like that goes straight across, but it needs to go lower. Doesn't quite go far enough across, and we'll need some darts in here. That'll be fine. There'll be like a dart there. Then once that's lower, I'll have another dart here. Main thing is just here. Perhaps I can just lengthen it here under the arm side. Lengthen it there by, I don't know, the thumb length. And then that should move over a bit. Oh, maybe not even a thumb length, because then I'm going to have this. Maybe I can take some of the excess into the arm. But yeah, main thing is we'll make this longer and move that over. Also, the seam allowance on this is 5/8 of an inch. So I calculated that because I deal with centimetres. I'm used to a centimetre or like 7 millimetres of seam allowance. These are huge, so I may be able to just let out the seam allowance a little bit more, and then it might fit as well a little bit better. So I'll try that, and then I'll add a little bit in the sides. See you soon. Okay, to do another bodice and adjust it, I have traced out the pattern on some more paper. Now it has a lengthen or shorten line that runs straight through it, and I've also traced that onto here. Now, because the back does not need any adjusting, I'm going to take this and expand it, so it's going to be like a wedge triangle. So this part here will be further down and go across this way, and then also I'm going to lay my fabric across it and mark out where I want to take out some of the arm side, and this is marking where it needs to go lower there. I'm going to have to refer back to my fitting video to remember exactly how much I need to add here. I've just used a French curve type ruler. They come in different packs, different shapes and things, but I've just adjusted the arm side to be a little bit lower. So the brown is my new arm side, and I've just crossed that out. For the front of the bodice, where it joins up, I've added 4 centimeters, and then because I'm going to have it tied with like eyelets and adjustable ties at the front underneath the bib front, I've added a little bit of a placket, 2 centimeters each, so that I can fold it over onto itself and then back again, and then it'll be reinforced where I'm going to have the eyelet holes for a small amount of lacing. So now that I've done the front, now I can cut straight along here and open it up. Why do I have every pet in here? Peanut was just sleeping in there. Now he's down here. So I've adjusted here all the way through. Added that much, which is hands are cold. Almost 11 centimeters. I've just realised the placket might need to be different at the end, because once you've folded it, it's going to be on a different angle than that. So perhaps I'll just like cut around here, just loosely around here, and not actually set the angle until it's folded over, and then I can cut it. So I should have thought of that while I was pattern making before I cut it out. You'll see what I mean. I considered lengthening it here because it was kind of pulling, but I think once this is bigger, then it'll stop pulling the back up and over, so that could sit properly. And if there's still a fit issue, I'll actually lengthen the strap itself, because this ideally would be, it'll be covered by the actual bodice bit, so you don't want where the strap attaches too far up, because then it's not going to get covered. It's just a void. Don't be trying to be fancy like me. Just don't be like me. It's the placket that I made. You fold it once in, then fold it again. But I tried to make it curved, and now I've got to cut this off because I can't have a curved placket there, because then it doesn't fold right. Just keep it straight. Now I've got to trim the ends. Yeah. Don't try and make the front curved if you have to fold it. If you're happy to do something else at the front, that's fine, but I wanted to make sure it had some more strength there, because this is the understructure of the dress, and it would be good to have that helping with support. Yeah, I'm going to fix that now. Once again, trying it on now that I've changed the bodice. So this is the original size that it was. So the pattern had it up under my arm, so too far. And then we had, I don't know, like a hand there. So I increased this size. But now it's just increased it at the top, really. You can't see my head now. So I can put a dart there, run that along. Then it's still not going under quite enough. So I think the back will need to be, because if I pull the back kind of where my bra stops here, it pulls this up, so it just wants to go here instead. I've got a full, no, can you see? No, alright, but yeah, it changes the angle again. So, and then that's back up there. So I can either lengthen the strap. I think I will just lengthen the strap. And then instead of widening it here, I'll just add it at the bottom. Because either way, if I have that straight, not curved like I tried to draft, I'll need it. Oh, Peanut. He just tried to jump onto something that wasn't stable. Poor dear. You alright? You want to go out? Okay, understandable. Beep beep. Off you go. Go find somewhere else to sit. Okay. Yeah, I added from the centre, but I only need it at the bottom, really. And then I've got a little bit of space there. It's already showing that it wants to turn into a dart. And then I'll have one here, unless I can put the fullness up into here. That's weird. Alright, 1, 2, 3 darts. That's why we don't work with rectangles on spherical body. I like where the placket's gonna sit. So when I pull that down, yeah, so that is when I have that there. So you really want the strap pretty far back. Alright, I'll lengthen the strap and add the measuring. Uses a gauge. Alright, at the front I want 3 centimeters if I'm pulling it at the back. And it can blend into nothing here. So really it's here again. But I want it to begin. Then my back gonna sit funny. So now I pull it down at the back, it pulls the sleeve funny. So then I guess once it's under, it's gonna sit better and it won't ride up, because then it'll have like the cup shape to stop it from riding up. And then I'll have to change the angle a little bit more flatter along the top. I can't reach that right now. Okay, mock up, not 2.0, 3.0. Sorry, you might be hearing my washing machine. So I a little bit, if it will. I just took the seam apart completely, and then I just stitched it where it should sit, and then I smoothed the arm around here, and then laid that flat on top. Then I pinned everything square, pulled this across to keep it tight on the back. Trying not to do darts here because it's a funny angle, but I'm going to end up with at least 2 darts at the top if I keep it on that angle. And also that means this is now going instead of that way, it's going that way, and then this also will need to be adjusted as well. So the under bodice doesn't really need to go up that high. You can probably go here. That'll reduce some of the dart. So lower at the top, longer at the bottom by a little bit, but I need to have a look at what to do here. I'm going to sit just here. That might work. Okay. So when I adjusted this, ow. So I flattened that there, and then I've smoothed it up under here. But now that's on that angle, which is fine. But it's this part here. And all of that. Now it's going to crinkle again because I played with it. There. Let's watch Melissa poke herself with pins 20 billion times. Yeah, this also will need to be taken in there to change the angle. That's going to happen no matter what, I think. Yeah, this. Not that I can reach. But perhaps I'll just mark this side. I don't want to just. This side. I don't know if it's working. Let's hope so. Yeah, I think it did a little bit. But this is all weird. Now, I've done draping a bodice before with just a sheet of fabric. And I filmed it, but now I can't find it. Or the draped piece of fabric. So now I'm working with this. I'm not sure if that's going to need to be much longer now. Just changed the angle a bit, didn't it? Alright, I'll fix the back shoulder. That bit. And then I'll see what else needs fixing after that. And I guess I will mark these dots with a better pen. This is going to stand up better. Doesn't help that I'm wearing a shirt that keeps shifting as soon as my body moves as well. Sit there for a second. Struggle Street. Okay. I sewed the darts. These I sewed on the angle but let them out a little. Back. I fixed the new line there and I let it out a little. I have to remember to pull this side so then the back is even. So I don't want it to start pulling one way and not the other. Yeah. So this will need revision. I like the sleeves though, so I just need to make it down there. And then this isn't terrible. Why do I keep making my pens go up? Because I keep touching them that way. It's actually starting to look like a shape that's gonna fit me. And it's fitting better here as well. Not going straight underneath though. So I'd probably do just give it seam allowance there, I guess. Plus a good 2 centimeters. I wanted to make sure that this wasn't too far out, because I don't want to flash there either. But it's kind of fitting. Can always turn that one more time if it's ends up too wide here, or I can trim it back and then do the double fold again for the placket, or actually just make it a bit wider. What I'm going to do here, I'm just going to add to the pattern here, or trim this. I think I'll trim that a bit, and then obviously when I'm folding these I have to put them like that, I think, because if I fold it that way it's going to go weird. So I was taught with darts you want to press to the back, because I always think of like you got to cover your ass so everything goes back. It's the only way I remember it. But these ones, I think I'm gonna go each that way. I'll change the angle of that. I'll trim. Let's get ahead. Hopefully this time. And I'll look down instead of it. My phone. So I want to go looking pretty good though. If I can just even that out and then fix the actual pattern so it sits right, so it'll get caught in the hem or seam allowance. It's still not perfect, but I think I'm not going to get perfect. To actually have something soon is probably preferable than mucking around with it forever. Not too shabby. So I made up a new pattern and I increased here, but there was 2 inches left, so I just left the seam allowance, not seam allowance. The no, I've forgotten the name of it. Oh my god. Okay, this isn't looking too bad. Now I made up, I elongated the pattern, but the selvage of the calico was there, so I just left it on. I thought it's easier to make it shorter than longer. So, and I've just like folded that over and got new strap on, strap over the shoulder onto the bodice, and you can see where this is. So I can trim it from there, or I can make this a tiny bit longer, but depending on what it looks like, I will look back at the footage. Oh, I'm so happy that I've got something that resembles a bodice, and then I can just shorten it where I need to and then stick another dart in and maybe a dot that way, or 2 dots more. I'm not sure, but either way, I'll reduce that so I don't have to be there. So perhaps I'll just draw on it there, plus seam allowance. I worked out 5/8 of an inch is 1.5 centimetres, because I looked on my little gauge. So that's not so bad. That's a little bit extra than what I'm used to. So I just have to remember not to do a centimetre, it's 1.5. But I guess that just means that, oh, I could let it out if I need to in the future. I really don't want to have to let it out, but oh, just happy that that worked. Alright, I'm going to draw on this. So that's where my brow stops. Ta-da! It did need to be curved. I was trying to figure out how far down to go and how much I needed. But I thought, oh, if I'm putting darts in it, it'll have to be straight. But even then it's curved. So maybe I should be working out where the darts go. Can I get away with just one? It's the under bodice before the flappy thing. Do I bother doing a dart there? Not a terrible dot. It's a little, that needs ironing. I don't know, I'll leave it for now. But now I know I can just put this new shoulder strap and bodice on this part, and then I'll have a look at the back to see if I want it any lower than that, but that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit. And then I have an official fitted mock-up 12